Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here for your weekly market update. I apologize for being late to the party. My real life work has gotten really busy. New fund launching and some really fun stuff happening in my work life, so that has to take priority. I don't have a choice. So let us talk about the markets. Today, instead of cracking a box, because I pretty much have cracked all the boxes I have that I want to crack, I will be sorting some cards, looking to create a Kano deck. I've been having a lot of fun with Wizard at Blitz. I used Icelander, as you see, featured here as my starting place. I did really well last night. I got 4th place, which is surprising amongst, I think it was like 12 or 13, but just surprising for me because I don't ever expect her to do that well, frankly. But I managed to get 4th place and surprise a few people. Actually beat a Kano player. Again, I think it was mostly out of surprise. So we did a rematch real quick in between because, you know, obviously Wizard matches are fast. And he beat me very handedly. So I am interested in building Kano. Icelander was my practice for Kano. I'm ready, I feel, to start building the Kano. So what I'm going to do is sort some cards here and go through some stuff. This is my box of random stuff and pull cards that will be useful for Kano and kind of start building that deck while we talk about the market. So it should be pretty straightforward. And I got some, looks like I got a bunch of Kano stuff right here. All right, cool. So where are the markets? So WTR Unlimited is basically sitting at, I should figure out a way to do this. Okay, yeah, WTR Unlimited is down 3%, nothing big there. ARC is up 2%. Might need to zoom this in a little bit. There we go. ARC is up 2%. Crew is down 5.5%, so I marked that as a cooling off. And that is something kind of worth noting at $72. It has kind of drifted in this range between 76 and 74, kind of range down to 72 for the first time in a while. Worth noting, it is as low as it's been in about a month and a half now. So if you're looking for Crew Unlimited boxes, this is a good time. Generally speaking, the market has hit some volatility, and I'm not entirely sure what's causing that. Maybe just the in-between ProQuest and Pro Tour. Monarch has jumped up 7.25% at $69. Now, if you recall, it cooled off 2 weeks ago down to 64, stayed flat, and now it's back to 69. Before that, it was above it. So you call that kind of a general fluctuation within a specific area. So that's Monarch Unlimited. Tales of Aria is doing pretty flat. Nothing really there. Down 3% to $63. Sorry, let me just get through these ones because none of these are Wizard. Nope, definitely no Wizard here. Unlimited Cases, pretty flat on WTR. I think it's down less than a point. ARC Unlimited down less than a point. And then, there we go, Chain Lightning. I knew I had something there. And then let's see, what else do we got here? Crew Unlimited is up 5%, so that's worth noting. It's at 310. And so that was at 294 not that long ago, last week, and had been pretty steady there for a while. So it hasn't quite been to this range in about a month. So keep in mind, if you're trying to unload Crew Unlimited cases, this might be a good time to do it. It is the highest I have on record, except for all the way back at the beginning of February, 2.2. So that was definitely an issue to see that it has risen so much. So worth noting if you're trying to get rid of some of them. Let's see, Mon Unlimited is flat, literally flat, no movement at all. And then LE Unlimited cases are down $15, 5.5%. So at 270, and this is the second week of cooling, coming down from 306 2 weeks ago. So it's just been drifting lower and lower, and both weeks were kind of 5% plus. Now the 306 was a leap up higher than 5%. So I think it's more like right sizing. It's that rubber band that Rudy always talks about. It spiked up and now it's zipping back down, and I think we'll probably equalize somewhere in the middle. It's interesting to look at these case prices and see that They don't line up perfectly. Like you would think the oldest stuff would be the highest price. It's not. 263 for WTR, and then the highest thing is ARC at 394 a case, and then there's 310 for Crew and 369 for Mon and 370 for Tales of Aria. So unlimited, very much market reflected as far as gameplay versus actual, like, I guess, print runs or a number of copies and things like that. So something to keep in mind. WTR first edition boxes are flat, doing the same thing they've been. It is up 2% at 3,899, but it's pretty much flat when you consider the prices of it. ARC first edition box up 1.52% to 1980 from 1950, so practically nothing. We got Crew, which did dip, I guess last week it dipped further, another 4%. So it went from 650 last week, which was a dip down from 690, to 620 this week. So we're seeing Crew first edition is continuing to fall. Worth keeping an eye on that if you're looking to pick up first edition Crew, which I know some people are. The Monarch box is down 2.5%, so nothing really market there. It has drifted down since, I guess, 2/24, since February, end of February. So for the past month and a week, we'll call it, it has been drifting down slowly from 164 to its current 155. So if you're looking for Monarch first edition, you're getting some pretty good deals now. Actually, 155 is real low for that. Tales of Aria is up to $90 a box for first edition from 84. It's worth marking because it's over 6%, but it's not like a huge up increase or anything, so I'm not sure that it's not that big of a deal. I don't see it snapping back to a crazy position. This is probably, like I said before, based on the market reactions to what's happening with competitive, right? Tales of Aria, people wanted to bling out their Starvos or whatever for Pro Tour, right? Or I guess the calling that's also happening there. And then you have EVR, which has dipped down yet again, down to $72. So again, this is below map. So worth noting, down 6.9%. We did have a snap up 2 weeks ago to 78, but again, I think that's still below map across the board on both of those. So that's kind of it's kind of in a very dangerous zone for a first edition, with the risk or potential that there will be a second unlimited edition coming out, right? So that's a little scary, I have to say. And I think I've probably pulled a bazillion of the same few cards. I just realized that I'm just pulling the snapbacks and the this is all Crew. That's why there's not that many wizard cards in here. Well, that's what happens when you're only half paying attention. So that's that for EVR. A little scary. Hope they do not release an unlimited, because good God, the prices would be god awful for an unlimited edition, wouldn't they? So first edition cases, WTR sitting the same at that 27,420. No movement there. Again, go get it somewhere else. Don't get it on TCG Player. All my prices are TCG Player prices, so worth taking note on that. And then the ARC fell back down. I don't know if you recall, last week it had jumped like 25% crazy to 24,994. Sudden listing. There weren't any sales. Don't get me wrong on that. There weren't any sales going on or anything special. It just jumped kind of unexpectedly, and now it is back to its normal price of $18,999. It's a drop of 31%. It's the exact amount it was before that weird pop up. So I'm assuming someone just put it in there. Maybe thought they were in WTR. So I don't know what that was. It was a weird thing. It didn't last long. I don't think it's worth making too big a fuss over. Crew first edition cases 2724, which is a slight tick up from where it's been the past 2 weeks. Now recall 3 weeks ago it did drop down from the 3,000 range to 2,700, so it's only a slight tick up. I think what's happening is that some of the boxes are moving, so people are trying to test a little bit higher prices. And then Monarch is 646, 0% movement there. It's like 0.31%. So just kind of sitting still at 600 and call it 40, 600 and change is first edition Monarch. I think the drift down is continuing overall, although this is a pop up from last week. If you look back through history, it was at 700 at the beginning of my tracking, and then it dropped down to 650, went back up to 670. Now it's down to 640. So it's just kind of meandering between, call it 630 and 700 range, with a more downtrend than an uptrend. Tales of Aria First Edition, negative 8.2% drop from 379 down to 350, which is a pretty significant drop for this product. Since I've been tracking it, I don't think it's hit the first week. The first week of tracking, it was at 344, which was when it was in its deepest slump. And might as well grab the Kano, right? Since then, it has mostly been above that point with a lot of fluctuation, a lot of variation. We've talked about that again and again. At this point, it's at 350. This is the most marked change, so i.e. the highest percentage of change that I've seen since I've been tracking it. Worth noting about that, but probably not that big of a deal. This is a recent set. There has been volatility around gameplay, and I'm not too shocked about how it's working, particularly since First Edition seems to be, I don't know, a fill-in for Unlimited, because no one's buying Unlimited from what I understand. And so as a result, First Edition is, I guess, pretty important as far as the actual market. Like, people that are buying cards for play are just going to buy First Edition, not Unlimited, and you're not seeing the Unlimited do pretty much anything, honestly. So now we're down to EVR. It dropped another 2%. This is First Edition cases again. So it's down to 302, which is, again, below map. I believe 320 or 340 is map. So below map. Now's the time to get EVR. So onto the singles. It has been a pretty brutal week for singles with some very interesting shifts that we've seen. The first thing I want to talk about, and this is pointing out my own mistakes. I will always do that when I see them, and feel free to point out my mistakes in the comment. Grandeur of Valahai is First Edition. 286 is way below what I thought it would get to. I thought it would stick at 350 to 300 at the lowest. 286 is, in my opinion, a great deal for a First Edition cold foil legendary. I don't know, maybe there's just too many of them on the market. Maybe they overprinted it like everyone's afraid of, which God help them if they actually release unlimited, because then all the prices are just going to drop like a rock. So we'll find out what happens with that, but seems bad. Interesting change. So those extended arts, I've been following them because they're collectibles and that sort of thing. $85 for the pulverized. That one has been consistently at $900 and jumped as high as like $200. I mean, sorry, not $900, $99, right? Around $100, and jumped as high as like $200. This entire time, it has stayed above 100, usually around 115 kind of range, and now it's down to 85. So if you've been waiting for your extended arts, this may be the time to buy it, because we are seeing the dip. Or maybe you wait a few more weeks and see if it continues to dip, because it seems like supply is hitting the singles market pretty thoroughly. So that's going to be a factor to consider if you're trying to pick up collectible cards on this situation. Now, the question is this the post-release slump where everyone's gotten it, supplies hit the market, or is this the post-ProQuest slump where everyone that thought they were going to be Champion Starvo or whatever is dumping the cards, and they had blinged it out because they have money to spend and they want to look cool, and then realize they aren't that good, or not good enough to, like, ProQuest or Pro Tour Invite or anything like that, and so they're just dumping the cards. I know of at least one person that that basically rage quit the game completely because they did not find it fun and were unable to achieve the level of success they expected. I will say, this is something for everyone out there. This game is getting harder. The players are getting better, period. I'm hearing pro players say this explicitly, that every game they're playing is a hard fight, even against unknown people. Non-name, non-pro type people. So the game has inched up over time, and we're getting to a level where it's going to be hard, it's going to be competitive, so you better have your big boy pants on and expect to lose, because you're going to lose. And that's how a competitive game works. This is what we want. The cards are accessible. And if this is where it is, which I think they're totally building the system around it with all the Pro Quests and the Pro Tours and everything, just ongoing competition, we're going to see more of this. And it's going to be the people that rise to the top are going to be absolutely excellent at the game. And this goes back to my prediction. I think it was on the podcast. I called it out about Viserai being the Pro Tour 1 winner. That's my guess. And I could be wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong. You guys know that. Aether, no, that's not good. So the reason I talk about that is because he has a very, very high ceiling, right? And so as a high ceiling, that means a top tier player can get there more often, and it will be unsurmountable when that happens. Will they get there? I don't know. We'll see if it's by Pro Tour. But the point is, the whole game's difficulty rating is increasing. There we go. There's some chain lightnings and sonic booms and ether spindles. There we go. There's some good stuff. And that's just, it's how the game is, guys. Like, get ready for tough competition. Get ready to train if you want to be a top player. It's not going to be easy going forward. It's just not. That's just how it is. So get ready. Get used to it. Don't worry about losing. You will, and learn from it, and figure out how to play very tight, perfect games, because that's what it's going to take to get to the top level going forward. I just don't see it happening any other way. So anyways, back to this Pulverize thing. So interestingly, Pulverize, $85, hasn't hit that low at all this whole time, which is great. If you're a collector and want to pick it up, go for it. I'm a little sad, obviously, because I bought them a little higher than that, but not the end of the world, honestly. I'm like, whatever. I do this for long holds. I'm not trying to flip quickly. So I imagine in 10 years it will be worth more than it is today, no matter if it's 85 or 100. But the part that I find most intriguing is that Aether Wildfire is going, the full art, right? Extended edition is going for $113. So it has popped up where it was historically in the 70s, right? Like, it's been down there forever. So it's now over $100. Why? I don't know. Are they harder to get to someone figure out? Is it because Kano won that one Pro Quest? I have no idea why that's flipped that way, but it has. And so that's something worth keeping in mind, that, you know, these cards can fly up and down, you know, kind of at a whim, sometimes based on actual mechanics, sometimes based on market conditions, sometimes just based on buyouts and things of that nature. I don't know why anyone would be buying out Aether Wildfire rather. It's a good card and all, but it's not. Look at these proxies I have. I don't know if you can see. These are all proxies here. Can you tell they're printouts? I guess just the corner, the white in the corner there. Yeah, they're faded. Yeah, here you go. Now you can definitely tell. I have proxies from when I was trying to figure out some deck tech, and we didn't have all the cards yet. So anyways, they're just in here. I gotta clean that up eventually. This is my box of random crap that I have not sorted out yet, obviously. Which is why I want to get the cards out of here that I might need, so that I don't have to sort them. They can be in a deck instead. Old Snatch and Plunder runs. Sad to see Plunder Run go. It's such a fun card. So yeah, the markets are shifting and changing, and just be aware of that, and aware that we are seeing obviously a player-driven market, and what happens next is it's not the easiest thing to guess, right? We're gonna see some variance. Here we go, some Forked Lightnings. And what happens based on wins, I think probably first, and then from there we'll see. I just realized I only need 2 of each card because it's a blitz deck. Silly me. And then from there, I mean, I guess we'll find out with this 2.0, you know, notification. The 2.0 notification will tell us a lot about the nature of the collectible side of the market. It is somewhat BS that collectors are out, because guess what? Most of the players are funding their trips with the sale of gold foils. And while there's a lot on the market, they're still holding prices from, you know, $600 to $800 and up to $2,000, depending on which one it is, obviously. And that's on the private groups, which usually give you a bit of a discount. So I would not count on the collectors actually being gone. I don't think they're gone. I think they've just slowed down their collecting, as I have myself. You've noticed, I mean, we're not cracking boxes here, are we? We're sorting cards. So part of that is just how it goes when the the certainty of a gain over the long haul isn't there anymore. And I would say that is true. Now, I am against that general mentality. I know a lot of people are holding it as pretty self-evident. I think this game has a long and strong future ahead of it. I think we do have a rough spot between here and the long and strong future, and they got to figure out some of the supply issues and how many they're printing and stuff like that. And we might even see a real, painful market condition between now and then. I'm okay absorbing that risk. I have no problem with that risk. But if you're someone that sees, an asset drop 50% and you cannot stomach that, then this is not the best market for you right now, because while there is upside potential, pretty big upside potential, there is downside potential coming as we transition into the new stage of this, which is clearly competition related. And I honestly think we're going to see some like personality type stuff happen where it's, we feature the top players because they're going to be extremely good and talk about them a lot and have kind of a interaction with the individual top players for the world. Because think about it, you're going to have a pro tour with one of the best players in the world is going to finish that, and probably the best player in the world. And then you're going to have another pro tour, and again, probably one of the best players in the world is going to finish that at first. And they may or may not be the same best player in the world as the previous pro tour winner. And it's going to continue like that. And you got to remember, the meta is going to shift between Pro Tour 1 and Pro Tour 2 because Pro Tour 2 is in August, and they will only have a few months to sort it out and bring the hits to Pro Tour 2 because the release is in June, last I heard, for the new set. And so when that happens, we're going to say, what's going on here? And, I just realized you guys can't even see my piles. That's okay. We're going to say what's going on here because we're going to have all the new cards from the new set. Now, it may not change much. This is one thing I'm interested in. Is it going to be a very like Tales of Aria set where it's talent based, maybe 3 heroes, 4 heroes, something like that are very focused in a very tight niche? And yes, there might be new toys for 1 or 2 of the kind of top meta heroes, but maybe not a ton of toys, right? In which case, you might get some new heroes and new things, but they're starting kind of low because they don't have the full card pool yet or whatever. And then we have to see how it affects the meta, which may be only a slight tweak as opposed to a massive change, such as something like Crew and Everfest did, where it gives everyone some toys. And so it's a real question of how it all works out, right? So I think what we're going to see is something a little less dramatic in the meta shift between here and Pro Tour 2. It might be some, but not as dramatic as Everfest was. And so that means they have a few months to sort out that kind of slight variance, and then we're going to have top players again at it. And I imagine, I don't think they've said it officially, I imagine there's a Pro Tour 3 as well coming, and that will be in the next season. So it's like every 3 months there's a Pro Tour is what it's looking like. And maybe they take 3 months off. I don't know about that part. But if that's the case, then we're talking about a rapidly expanding competitive landscape, which is awesome in my opinion. And it's going to be focused around being competitive and playing hardcore flesh and blood in person at mega events constantly and regularly, and featuring those, people's champions, as you will, which are the people that have figured out how to be the best, and, and the rise and fall of the best in the world. And I think it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited to see it evolve and grow. It's different than the game I originally imagined, but I'm not against it. I like it a lot. And it has a great place, and there's a lot of fun to follow on that. So we'll be following it, of course, and I'll be following the market implications of that. And I imagine it will shift more and more to play base and winners, like we used to speculate on Prism because she won the Nats so long ago. I think we're going to see a lot more of that going into the future as each step of the way happens, and we get more Pro Quest results for next season, and then Pro Tour results, etc. So anyways, looking forward to that. I am done sorting. I got all my Kano cards here, and I hope this was a decent market update. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it. A lot of people are watching our content these days, especially around sorcery. We'll be featuring some more of that. If you do like the content and you're watching that stuff, please subscribe. We are trying to continue to grow the subscription base. We will be doing another giveaway related to the number of subscribers at some point. It probably won't be too soon, depending on how fast we grow, but we're getting some subscribers. We'd like to see some more, lots of views. So if you are viewing my stuff or our stuff and you enjoy it, please subscribe, hit that like button and the bell, and then we'll see you next time. Have a good one.